already Pastor Gulpan, he introduced me that I come from Bangladesh. You know, in the world, the biggest Muslim country is Indonesia. Then in Southeast Asia, Bangladesh also one of the most populated country, and this is the Muslim country. So just, I didn't bring the demographical reports here, but let's little bit about it is over. So we have 60 million people in among them. 90, as I see, and you know, as a Muslim country in Bangladesh, Christians only 0.03%, 0.03. Then among these 0.03, Catholics are majority, then Baptist, then Anglican, then maybe Seventh-day Adventist, maybe 7 or 6, 7 plus. So you can now imagine how much we are in, Adventists are in a big where people Christian. So Bangladesh auditing also. Now, and also we have 103 now organized churches, and more than 300 we have company churches around Bangladesh. And also first Adventist in Bangladesh is 1906, long before, almost like Indonesian also, but we didn't much improve in Bangladesh. But we are trying. The gospel also Jesus Christ. But always I am thinking, as we are preaching like the Jesus is coming soon, we have song. Thank you very much. Also to appealing everybody. I am this vast population in Bangladesh without preaching to the Muslim brothers, our large group, possible the second coming of Jesus Christ. The people, only we are least, very least. Our remnant church, remnant people like this, but we have a big burden and responsibility to preach. But we are not going to them. But you will happy to know that in Bangladesh also, we call it is special ministry. We are doing also. While I had been the president, myself, I try to give the witness to the Muslim brothers also. Because in our country, we are ministering under the Al-Hanif, and also then of that ministry severally. Happy to know that, but not good. Around 22,000 converted, like here, 25 under me. Al-Hanif also, because Al-Hanif also belongs to the Adventist Church. It was monitored, supervised by directly from the division, but now it is going some trouble also. We have many properties also, almost we are going to lost. So we need prayer, and also we are training. They are coming from the Muslim background, totally from Muslim. Hopefully we are working. Bangladesh as a poor country, we cannot survive without the support of from the foreign country. Always support is coming to the Bangladesh, but and others, they are helping. Give them the gospel ministry. We are saying in Revelation 14, 24:14. So we need to evangelize everywhere. So we are trying to, but our context, our situation is not like Manila, not like other countries, but different. So we need your prayer. This morning, so you know, everybody we just very all the small things beside me, all the day long, how I am talking, how I am greetings, the small things is very important, very, very important. So let me share one story. Andy working in a hospital, so, but she is very enthusiastic girl. Always she likes to help others. Sometimes we never sense or we never think about this. I am walking, but somebody needs help, just we are passing by. We are passing by. But Andy always she think like this. Then she is waiting. How can I help someone? How can I help someone? So very, very little things like one old man, he could not cross the road, but we are just passing by. But Andy used those who one boy having a see bicycle like this small thing, and she enjoyed to helping very small things, very, very small things. We are claiming ourselves, we are the member of the Remnant Church. What is the work of Remnant Church? Remnant Church, we are looking for great things, big happen. pastor in the hill area. There was only very young men, very seven young people, those who came to study in our academy, but not churches. Then mission decided to send me there. Then my elder daughter, she was only 2 years old. Then we went there. Then what happened, you know, just we are living and very simple, very simple. So even there was no house. Then mission given me some money. Then I greet some older men and I try to make a very good relationship. And they help me. They are Hindus, they are Buddhists, but they are very kind to me. Then I live there. Then while I lived there 3 years. Now we call this is the hill tracks area, jungle and hill area, very remote area. I worked there, I traveled, I walked. Then why they impressed? Always I think like this. I cannot be a big man or very famous man, but very small things, greetings, greets, and helping and talking, very small. I like one of our Myanmar brother, he talking about the star pieces. Only small things. Where we have visited, one brother said this, now this, from here, the mayor is the now vice president of these Philippines. Great. It is not one a day raise this such kind of big things. One by little, list. So we can think like this because we have a story also in our Bible. It is in the book of story called in June. Came and passed by. Then who came? Then hospital like now. He took him to the. Then what he said? Let's read here. Then on the next day, when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will repay you. See, the Samaritan said, so we are talking about always Samaritan and Levites and others. We never think about the innkeeper. We never think about innkeeper. We are not talking about innkeeper. So likewise, small things, everybody is innkeeper. Nearby somebody needs help. We are the responsible to take care. So I like in the NPU, while I had visiting there is our big signboard. So in my Where I had been in the hill tracks, there is a nearby, very like a gypsy. They so always, I failed actually. But many of our brothers, they turn from this, taking care, praying, and visiting. Sometimes in our small villages, many of us are very lacking. Especially many of the times, we could not do many small things for them also. So we cannot care them also. Actually, that's why for everything, we are the responsible in the small village, in the small space. So, question is this: am I caring my neighbors? Am I caring my neighbors? Everybody, we would like to be a great, to great things, big things, but small things we ignoring. We are passing by our neighbors who is needed. That's why now in our country, Bangladesh, so we cannot evangelize openly. So we are trying to adapt the mission to the cities, the center of influence. How to influence people, how to attract people, how to lift up our Christ. But we cannot directly, openly say, evangelize to the cities. All over the cities, big cities, we are planning like a health expo. This morning, I would like to draw on to take care of our neighbors.
Thank you very much, Pastor Hagidok. At least we have understood this in the world church, because we have in our own territory the largest segment of the Muslim and the Buddhist, which are among the major challenges of the world church. So today we'll go into our prayer season. This time we'll give everyone the opportunity to pray again by twos. So we do not need to raise up our request unless you feel it's a major concern that should be participated by everyone. We give you the opportunity to raise your hand. And Sherry, please.
Just a praise. Thank you for your prayers. Our children seem to be fine. The tornadoes passed by a little north of the area. There are people who died, but we were very grateful that our children and grandchildren are fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard that, I see in the TV that there are about 38 tornadoes, but let's by tornadoes in the United States. Also, I want to let you know that today is the coordination meeting for all the evangelists of the Share Him who have come all the way from the United States to join with us, and from other parts of the world to join with the Mission to the Cities program here in Manila, the Hope for Manila I Care. The meetings will be at 10 o'clock this morning for all the evangelists, and it will be at the Union Chapel. So some of us will leave, Ricks and myself will be there, while the When Wellness will go on here. Tomorrow is a big day for us. Our health. By our field school. We will hear. But tomorrow, the intricacies of the actual public service in the name of the health ministry will be demonstrated by our health department of the ECSD and NPUC. Let's have a season of prayer today. Let's divide ourselves into twos and have our prayer. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, sorry. Yesterday we have made the announcement that since we will have the Win Wellness actual demo, the easiest way for us to do it is to organize ourselves into the groups that we have in the VG Capable. So forget VG Capable. Good. If you don't have them, there are about 30 topics in the When Wellness lessons that are recommended by our division to be used for our grouping together to coordinate ourselves. So group number one, the yellow group, you may still want to meet the other members here. I don't recall the people in each group, but you know who you are. The blue.
by making their homes a center. For this, we have to move to this area, to these plans. The environment is part of it. Where you will notice that, as I presented yesterday, that because of secularism, materialism, and so on and so forth, many of the elite group or many of our members of society are not so much interested in religious or evangelistic outreach or so on and so forth. And that is one of the factors that we have looked into in the environment. Another factors here is that many of our churches seem to be dependent on evangelists, professionals, we call, so that they would rather give their money in contribution to the evangelism, but not so much in activity. And so that's another. And then, of course, there is so much idea of departmentalism in our church, either in the division, even in the GC, General Conference, division, union, up or down to the local churches. We always have the thinking, this is my turf, this is my department. I don't want to be disturbed, or sometimes I integrate or I ask other department to assist me, but there is that idea of departmentalization. And so the idea of integrating all departments is one solution so that we can cooperate with each other. Regardless of your department, you promote your department, but that promotion is on the idea of integration. In other words, like for example, when we do VG capables, we do particular training of VG capables, but VG capable is being integrated into care group. We use VG capable as an in that. That's the thought. You will find that as we go around the division, the union, the mission, the conferences, I believe and we believe their department, but that promotion is still related to the integrated evangelism. I hope that is clear. So the possible solution is like that. We got here the point here is we desire that our church members will exercise evangelism as their lifestyle. That's really the key. We desire that all members of the church will take an initiative that reaching other people becomes their lifestyle. And as we draw closer to Jesus and understand His mission, the more we put it in our hearts and in my minds, and that love has to be shared with others. And then, integrated evangelism and the materials that we are providing use as nurturing our members. And so there are lots and lots of trainings here. And really reaching and training the local church members. Okay? Well, integrated evangelism is reaching into the idea of using Christ's methods as a ministry. Okay? The formation of the care group, we organize small group. Small group is all over the world, I believe. But when you look into that, we found it out. Does not really imply something. It has a very limited implication when it comes to evangelism. But when we use the word care group implies a caring people, a caring family, a caring group. So when you think about that, being a member of the care group implies that I'm part of the group. I am a caring man, I am a caring person, I'm a caring woman, something like that. And the composition of the care group, as we know, are the following: the intercessor family, or we call IF, and then the cared family. We know that the intercessor family are those of the Adventist family, while the cared family are those, the non-Adventists. Is that clear with you? Is that okay with you? And so all over the division, we got that caring group. Let's review here something which I believe understood. The division have that organization we call Integrated Evangelism Committee. When we go down to the union has to organize their own Integrated Evangelism Committee, down to the local conference and down to the local churches. When you look into this is already a composition of the Integrated Evangelism Committee in the local church. Okay? In the local church, for example, this local of, say, 50 members, of 5 people in each family, probably you can get about 30 families. Are you with me? Is that clear with you? That 30 families should be divided into care group with a minimum members of 2 or 3 families, depending on the size of the family. Or it could be divided into single and professional family, depending on the desire of those professionals, or single family, okay, or say young people, okay. But the point is, if this is a church having their own Integrated Evangelism Committee, and this is about, say, 30 families, so you group them by 10 or 10 members, and 10 members probably would have only 2 or 3 families. Are you with me? So, for example, let's look another care group. If you are, this is, okay, looking into this one now, this group here. It could be that this care group is single model. In other words, when we think about single models, these are young people who would like to separate from the family and would like to form their own care group. Or it could be a widow or a widower or whatever. Okay? So this could be a single model where one single man or one single professional in a group, each one is reaching 3. But of this particular care group. When you look into this care group, a multi-family composition, this is a family of husband and wife with 1 or 2 children, okay? Probably small ones or still under the parents. And then another group, another family, and another family. And this particular family would decide to get 2 cared family nearby, or their neighbors or their friends, who would come to their house, to their home, and do the program themselves. Is that clear with us? Okay? And then this another kids, other children, family and decided to make their home, their family, as one single IS. Is that clear with you? Is that in your place? Okay? Now, each care group this care group here could do outreach with their cared family are singles, and they look into their friends that they would like to reach out and conduct and invite them into their homes and open this as their lessons. Okay? Or give that wind wellness materials as their lessons. The same is true with here. In other words, if there are 3 or 4 or 5 care groups in the church, each care group has their own outreach activities. One care group, another care group could do feeding program, another care group would look into parenting or so on and so forth. But in other words, the church as a whole is doing various activities. Another one, the IEL committee would look into nurturing this group here, the leaders, together with the cared family, probably once a month, once a quarter, meeting so that they will be able to monitor all the activities of the care group. This integrated evangelism committee's role is to see to it that all care groups are functional. And possibly the evangelism committee here, the IEL committee, could be part of any of these family groups. Now, as added to that, the IEL committee should look in to strengthen the care group. Otherwise, your care group, without caring them, without the caring of the caring attitude of the IEL, that care group will not last. Any question? And I believe we are on the right track. The wind wellness materials has been the top among the materials that we have seen that we will be using. And not only this, we have already some other materials in place to follow up. But personally, in my feeling is, wind wellness, when really done in the local churches and really studied by all members of the church, will really enrich them very, very well. Wind wellness are components, the home. Look into that. The materials are, we got the manuals, the resource book, the software. Wind is what? Well, in other words, we look into the needs of the community, their health, their family, and then their spirituality. But most of all, in the materials that we have, that these materials can offer, have 5 components, actually. Always, you will notice and you will find that the first part of the presentation has what we call gripping stories. Very, very good and inspiring stories. The materials are scientifically prepared, really scientifically prepared. The materials is integrating or has integrated inspirational thoughts and inspirational messages, even Bible texts. And the materials has a transformational component, very, very good, that will allow the participants to look into his inner self, his inner emotional needs or physical needs, and to be decision what? Book which has different content here. Strong. Each component has a very good presentation. Okay. Well, I don't want to move. Here to the questions that have been raised yesterday, which I hope this will help. As help the church into outreach program. So Win Wellness particularly or basically is intended for its family. But Win Wellness can be used surprisingly, and I want you to observe that and notice that, because personally I have tried it myself. I have conducted an evangelistic meeting for 2 weeks. But before the evangelistic meeting, I prepared the place for 6 or 8 months. The 8 months period is a try for all the family in church, family members in that local church. There were 2 churches. One has 5 care group. The other church has 40 care group. It's a little bigger church. And during the 8 months period, every care group is just working so hard, including their outreach besides the family. And so I health and here and use this as a reminder of all those who were in the care group members to come and be part during the evangelistic outreach. And so the Win Wellness is part of the review, but it's part also of their commitment to change lifestyle. But the doctrine has already been done in every home during the Win Wellness setting or the family setting. I was excited, so excited that at the end of the evangelistic meeting, there were 360 souls who were baptized. Small group setting. And I'm scheduled again June here in North Philippines. In the same. It works very well. Now going into step by step, I have a question here. On the area on step by step in evangelism for or in the local church setting. You have organized your church into IEL, Integrated Evangelism. And you have to look into several evangelism. Not so much but you're So this is an awareness period. Awareness time in preparation for some enriching the community. Church should undergo urgency of working or say presenting the gospel and the necessity for personal practice on health principles and so on and so forth. And then step 2, after revival and reformation for the church and doing outreach, personal evangelism, so on and so forth, you go into step 2. It is always, to me personally, in all my experiences, in the simplest way to really get people is to conduct medium or large health expo, and I have done that several times. When you think of health expo or health fair, it could be done in a community or in a town setting. You organize the health expo, and you will see that tomorrow here. Do not miss that. We will put you here in a setup where all of you should go through, and that is the steps that we are suggesting. You can modify it according to your needs, but this is a setup that you will learn in conducting health fair, health expo, or other screening program. In the health expo, you go into preparation of health screenings, and health screening could be done in various ways. It could be hypertension, it could be blood sugar, it could be heart disease, it could be others, okay? And the health screening could be done by van ministry or whatever, and we got several van ministry here in this division. And this could be done in the town setting. This could be done in the mall, where you ask the mall, a mall, there is an activity. So we can the mall, that health expo of conducting the health expo is to get the It's not just a matter of screening or getting to know their blood pressure, the blood sugar, and so on and so forth. The most important reason why we conduct Health Expo is to get the felt need of the local city, a local town. I hope that is clear with you. In other words, during the Health Expo, as they register, and it is part of the screening tomorrow, as they register, they will read a portion of that registration paper that there is a question. If we conduct health program in this community, what do you think is your priority among the list below? So you got the list of 5, you got the list of 10, or probably more. So you put there, stress management, smoking cessation, exercise, and many others. At the end of your health expo, you tabulate this paper and get the highest 3 categories. If the highest is cooking classes, stress management, smoking cessation, these are the 3 priorities of the community. In other words, offer that in your churches, if the three priorities, you put this Pasay church, as smoking cessation. You put the other church as cooking, another program. Or doing various activities around as you have visited them is to tell the public when they go to Ted Wilson's crusade, and I hope the form is prepared, and that's the idea. The participants will receive a flyer, and that flyer has those information that are needed for these people. And so they say, oh, okay, there is a place here, smoking cessation, Pasay English Church, regular schedule, this. Cooking class, another church, another place, another program. Information that when they need a specific place. And let me tell you this, if you don't have that information, your evangelistic meeting, your health expo is just an event. It will not reach other people. Is that clear with you? I always emphasize that, and we always do that to really see to it that after this event, this big event, so expensive event, people has a place to go when they need this, they need that, they need this. Otherwise, there is no follow-up with those clients. That's always and should be done as we recommend. Otherwise, nothing will happen. And you can put there, Bible studies. Sometimes you are afraid to put in the survey who would like to have Bible studies, and we don't put that in the flyers. Many times you don't put that because we believe that the laymen or the church members can do that. But mind you, if there is no such information, you will just wonder whether you have done something to reach the community. Is that clear with you? So, in this survey, offer the classes that people felt their needs. Prison ministry are made smoking cessation, so on and so forth. Okay? It could be hospital-based, it could be headquarters-based, it could be church-based, and so on and so forth. Could be living center. But the target that we're trying to impress all over this division is that the best place is your local church. Hello? Is that clear? Why? If the local church has that ongoing program, you will begin to attract people in the community. I have stopped my smoking problem, and it's because of that Adventist church. I have lost weight because of that Adventist church. I have learned to cook because of the Adventist church. That's the goal. And all over the division, we have organized our churches, and we call them every church a community health center. It is not telling that you got all the medical equipment in your local attracted because they have regular health programs in the local church. The target that we're having is all our headquarters, whether that's the union, the mission, of programs, lifestyle modification. And I'm glad that many of our headquarters are looking into that. We're looking seriously in the division. And I'm glad that South Philippines has already the building, which I hope the objective really for that is to look into the union as the community, as a center of influence, looking into the needs of the people. Mind you, friends, if we do regular health programs, when we think of regular, it is not once a year. That is not a regular program. Because you lost your clients. Regular program could be once in 2 weeks or once a week for feeding program, once a month, and every month you got that program ongoing. And people will begin to recognize, and if people have received a flyer on such a date for the whole year, it's already spelled out. Say, January 20 to 25, cooking classes. February 10 to 15, smoking cessation. March, this date. April, this date. May, this date. Up to December, if it is all set up for the whole year, you put these flyers in the mall, you put these flyers in the bank, you put these flyers in the companies, you put these flyers anywhere, you will have a regular program in your community, for your community. I hope that is clear with you, and I hope you can look into that. The problem that we are having with our local churches, in that this is a challenge, is that reputation is not. Are you with me? Hello? On the action, I would say, could be reversed if the church becomes a caring church. Hello? If the church is organized as a caring church, and many times we always think on the idea that people are prejudiced to the Adventist church so that they don't want to go there. That is wrong concept. The point is, try to elevate the reputation of your church by going to the community and really take care of the people in the community, and they will begin to raise up the status of your church by such activities. Last quinquennium, we reached as much as 2,200 churches considered as community health centers. I hope we can move a little higher. Total in this division. Do we clear? Hello?
You're centering everything in the church, but yet we're learning to have cell groups like in Jollibee and other places. And so, and also Ellen White taught us to have a health and clinic center in the city and to live in the country. So are all our churches actually in the city? Or I just don't quite understand, are we supposed to be doing everything? Where is the emphasis here? Are we having a
out? but you can branch out. The union, like for example,
Most of our churches are not in downtown cities, so are they?
well,
I mean, I know
probably
we
in
have-
some areas, you're right.
But even if we did have a church in downtown area, for example, let's say this church here is downtown Manila. It's there all over. It'd be wise to have the clinic somewhere in Makati or somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
sure.
I'm not following the
Sure.
counsel here that you're
When,
giving.
when you look into Ellen G. White's counsel, Ellen G. White is telling us from the church, from the hospitals, from, say, other organization. So we can look into, like, for example, the hospital. The hospital can stay as a community health, as center of influence where it is right now. It could branch out through various clinics as feeders. And that particular clinic could be utilized as center of influence in reaching the little community around. Or the church or the union, particularly, like for example, the union here in PUC, can look into reaching out or putting up a restaurant somewhere where, because it is capable of financing. And the local church can look into their own community and really reach out in doing small queues, thing. It could be juicing or so on and so forth, depending on their capabilities. But the church, the local church, can be made a center of influence itself as we look at the city or to this area. But developing the local church as a community health center and branch out simple center of influence in the city by doing it as a family setting. I hope I'm shedding some light. Any more question? Yes, Pastor. We'll look into this as about 5 minutes.
As I know that the division is really mobilize the integrated evangelism lifestyle. And I'm thinking that why we have the crusade here in May. In my understanding that we are going to have the will be this coming September. After we begin the sequence of 8 months. And so we are thinking that we are not uniform. Because here they have a crusade, but in our place also, just 2 weeks ago, I am a little bit confused. Because he is a vice president from division, come to our place to have a crusade. But the plan is, and we decide in union that we are going to have the crusade or for harvesting this coming September. So, you know, sometimes we think, is the division have the same idea or to have the uniform in the whole division or in other union or another crusade for the following the integration.
I think we are all in the same idea. We are all in the same idea. We are still uniform. When you look into the IEL, the integrated evangelism, it's like this. From here up to here, okay?
Yes.
All of this is integrated evangelism. But the reaping is coming on the other side. Whether you start your reaping here because you have started your IEL from here and then move to the first quarter of the year, it's still okay. Regardless of when you start and how you end it, it's still a cycle. Here, the reason that we do this, the integrated in unity, in the integrated evangelism concept, but it is not always on the idea that because we are integrated evangelism, we stop the evangelistic meeting. The union can adapt it that way if they see that the integrated evangelism in the care group concept is really flourishing in their union. And why conduct evangelistic meeting? Or why conduct reaping when you are reaping it already in the small group or in the care group? But there is still that concept that is going on, that integrated evangelism
Yes, that's right. And Indonesia Union, we decided this coming time, we asked why the Vice President come and have the crusade there. I don't know. So that's my question. So
I do not understand. You mean he is coming early?
yes, 2 weeks ago he did the crusade already there. So
And there is that set of time for September.
yeah, the union decided already. The whole union, we are going to have the crusade this coming September. But then the division, the Vice President come. Wow,
The idea is this. You in the union can decide, regardless of who he is in the division, much earlier date, then it's up to you. But has an action of that. In my situation, we have plans, and we have set up, and in fact, we have some preliminary plans, but Mrs. Bindusano told me, Pastor Carpena, we cannot do that because we have an action in the union that all our reaping crusade will be done on this particular month. In other words, if you consented to the request of the Vice President to come earlier, that means he understood it, that you have prepared the groundwork enough for his coming early time. So it's up to you in the union. You look into that and see. But we in the division, we always comply to what you have desired for us to do, particularly when evangelistic meeting or reaping crusade.
Pastor, I would like to tell you the reality, how the brethren responds to this another new program. Because we have been bombarded with the Pero model about small group, and we are doing that in our district, and quite of brethren churches. I was handling 23 churches, and most of the churches has organized the small group. Of course, we
Care
do.
group.
Of course.
The care group.
No, I'm talking about before the small group lunch. Okay. So we're doing that and program. This program it has all the specific program.
Okay.
Just like a box.
Okay.
What is reality? The brethren has, for this time, has the negative, shall we say, they responded but not so impressive.
Okay.
So because what they're thinking about, oh, this is another program again.
Okay?
The small group, we have that materials, and there's another materials. We
Okay.
introduce it to them. So the reality, Pastor, is the people is the
Complaining.
brethren, they're complaining about the materials, another expenses, something like that.
And so what's
Our
your problem? What's your
that
worry?
is our challenge.
Okay? And what's your worry?
My worry is the reaction of the brethren.
And how do you solve the reaction of the brethren?
Well, we're just going to the committee, to the churches, and again, they persuade them about the word. Let us try to adopt this kind of program.
Okay, I understand you, and I got that complaint as I move around Central Philippines. The situation that we need to look into is this. When we go to the local church, idea done. The reason why the IAL is done from the union level, understand the concept, to internalize it, be able to be convinced that this program works and this program is very good. And when they go to the local mission, the same mission administrators, departmental, and church, district pastors should and really be committed to it, that this is a program that my church really wants or really needs. And then when we go to the local church, we just don't throw the same material as a mailman and then here is your package. And that's what I observe. I have observed that as I go around. When we go to the local level, like for example in Central Philippines, in Calbayog City, I was bombarded by the church members during my presentation. It is because they have not really bought the program, as they have not been converted and convinced about the program. And that's our challenge.
Pastor.
The point in our IAL is that from this period, the first month, second month, third month, and fourth month is the period of really doctrinizing our members to get and buy and being committed to the concept. If the church members are not well equipped and well understood the concept of IAL, you will have such a situation.
Okay.
Limit the challenges in the
I wanted to address the pastor at the same time, Pastor Eugene's question. First, Pastor Abi's case, I would say this. If you are a pastor in an area, any offer from anywhere that will reinforce your evangelistic activities, the best thing for you to do is to accommodate that. Do not disrupt your own program, nor disrupt the organization's promoted program just because there is someone who offers. I would say, don't say no. If anybody would like to say, I wanted to go to your place and help you in your evangelistic meeting. For me, my idea is, if you are pastoring that area, and this visiting evangelist has a budget and has a program, by all means, don't disrupt your program, but accommodate the one who comes. Because he is reinforcing what you are doing. He is not destroying what you are doing at all. He is helping you to achieve your goal in your area.
Provided you got enough time in preparation, just like what you have said for the IAL.
Yeah, the point the point I stress is this: the program that you have Even, I personally would, anyone who enforcement. My suggestion, my address to Pastor Eugene's place, since I am, a little higher in the observation. We are observing what's happening in South Philippines in response to IEL. It's true. There are some areas in South Philippines, because we have 6 missions and conferences in South Philippines. There are some areas that has become negative in response to the IEL promotion. But there are some that has become very positive and have taken it by heart. And the effect is, of course, according to the response. Now, I would say this. Our part as pastors are mobilizers. Now remember, God's work is God's business. And business has some salesmen. Unfortunately, as pastors, we are the salesmen of God in His business. You don't seal God by the company which people would not swallow it. The people will vomit. But if you go there, study the book first, study the material first, and convince yourself that this is important for me. And when you have convinced yourself that this is so important and vital for me, then I go to some people and say, wow, I have found a material that will help me to have a longer life just to be BG capable. We have known that long time ago. But when we have seen how it was promoted, our response is, you see, let me tell you, honestly, before the VG Capable program here, I know the feeling of some. It's the same feeling in the local churches. Vegetarian again. Why do people have to dictate what should people eat? Now that's an antagonism that is already a condition of the mind. Before you hear anything, you have a mental condition already. But give yourself an opportunity to hear and assimilate the something good that is brought to you. And I can go with you on that. Why do we have to be taught vegetarianism? We have known that all the way. Why do we have to be taught healthful lifestyle? We have known. All of us were willing with all our hearts. That we go, but the same thing. Negative attitude before you have it, you will not have an effect, a positive effect upon the people you are talking to. But live it up in your own life, share it with the others. Look, the reason why I'm saying, because I'm trying to compare. Pastor De La Pina was talking about a situation of the coldness of some people in some areas. Listen to Pastor Necesario in the positiveness of people's response. One of the model IELs is the Davao Central Church, where Pastor Alex is pastoring. Some of the ones that we are promoting in our Hope Channel are taken from their area, because the brethren live it up. Now, this is a church that has so many the small IEL. And is strengthened.
That's true.
If you look at IEL, small group, and throw small group away and apply this now,
That's
look at IEL as something to strengthen the small group system, then that serves the purpose, because that's what the purpose is.
That's really true. Is that clear? Hello? Are you enlightened? Are you excited? Yes, Pastor. Let's entertain that last question because our time is running fast.
We are not negativity style. In fact, for us as a pastor there, we promote the care intercessory family within the pastors. Within the pastors. Because it is uneasy for me to promote IAL if I'm not experiencing this within my own.
Sure.
But the problem is, this is my new territory. I'm talking with the reaction of the people there. I tell you, I have a hard time. I am not negative that I am not going to implement this. I have that in my small group program. Because I believe this is the same as the small group program.
Yeah.
In sense of blame those people in our local church. There are some of them came from. It has a positive impact. So, but this new territory, which in the city, so they have a different response to this program. Maybe, when change, because they were thinking also this is a change. No, this is not a change. It is not a new program. This is the old one. We are just trying to add, if this recipe, we're just trying to modify our recipe.
Make it tasty.
Yeah, make it tasty. But I'm expressing my,
Sure.
My sentiment with this reaction, even at the board, to the board. Convincing them. But, we live to this. When there is a resistance, we have to be persistent in our promotion. So this is how I observe in the present situation in that particular church. Thank you.
I understand, and probably that's very, very much applicable in many of the programs or new programs that we introduce. But let them go through it. In other words, take them along with you and really study it along with you and see how they will respond. I have passed that. I have gone through it in Myanmar. I have, in many places as we go around the. You carry the church in your arms, in your hands, and go with them. Let them try. You will see that they will say, wow, this is something to think about. Pastor Golpan is telling us we need to study it personally and be convinced about the materials before we will be able to convince other people. Otherwise, we hear some negative feedbacks and we become discouraged of the feedback that we've been hearing. So is it... I'd like... So that before you leave, and everybody could be... No, what we are interested here now is that you present these materials in each of your color, in each of your group. And probably, if you're interested to present it in a whole group in one setting, that would also be fine. And I'm thinking of Pastor De La Pina in presenting it in his own unique way, in a group here, if he is interested. Or anybody who would like to go into... Are you with me? Setting. Otherwise, let's start doing it. And I would probably suggest... I think... alone there, you might be learning only on your common understanding, but if you are distributed along doing IAL, probably you will learn from each other.
Because of course this is will applied in our territory. So it is good for us gather in one country in one
Okay.
groups.
Sure.
Because if we practice it in our groups by our language, it's easy for us, and also we can also
Interact.
sharing some ideas how to make it happen in our areas. Just like us
Okay.
for Indonesia, all of Indonesia will gather together in one groups, and then we can present it in our small group, and then
Okay.
we can also discuss how to make it happen in our union.
And how you
If
can...
the East Union also practices it better than us, then they can tell us, and then if the West have made it already better than them, we can share them to also. So what I mean is,
Yeah,
it can
I understand.
easier to share it in our language.
And then you can discuss how to strengthen
Yeah, how to
each
make
other.
it make better.
How would you like that? But I'm interested that this... you are leaving, right? You're attending the... Okay. Sherry can probably join with other groups. And then some of our group from Pakistan, if you are interested to discuss it with you or do it within your group, that would be very good also, be very fine. But if you are not confident about it, then we can look into sharing that or sitting down with other group. How is that, Pastor Data? Yeah, there is an open
Okay.
already a suggestion, and I'm entertaining that.
In my conviction, it is nice to mingle with those foreign because we can know how they implement it there. So maybe we can also copy their strategy, because we are here. This is for what we call studying, we're learning. So it's nice to share your idea with us, my friend. Don't bother with that language barrier. Anyway, we can tackle this by God's grace. Thank you.
That's also another suggestion.
My suggestion is we will go with the color of the BG capable.
Okay. So there are two here. Are you interested that we go by nationality or we go by color? By colors. Okay. Are you satisfied with that, Pastor Sigala? Okay. She is satisfied, so we'll go by colors. I think it's unanimous now. Okay, let's go by colors, and then we can ask Sherry to join some of the groups around. Yeah, sorry, you're in a perfect. Okay, so go with your color, and we give you 1 hour. And then take note of some pros and cons in the IEL in the presentation. In wellness, the a need for that. Then we can discuss it all together. That in the creation. Okay. You can start as an introduction in how you organize the IAL in your place in few minutes, probably 5 or 10 minutes. And then if there are some reaction in the group or some input, then you discuss it together. But the point is, I'll give you an hour or say an hour and 15 minutes all together and get feedbacks afterwards.
Pastor, some of the groups are just only 3. That's the problem.
Okay, there is no problem with that.
We'll just make it with some other groups.
We can fuse some groups to increase the number if we find there are only. I
have a question.
setting. That's right.
You want us to discuss how we can incorporate this into each of our own territories.
Later on.
Okay, so within the hour, are we supposed to cover two parts or are we supposed to
One part. The whole thing. Okay?
hour for presentation now?
That's right. But since it is a family setting, listen, but since it is a family setting, you as the host, are you with me now? If you are the one presenting, that means you are the host. The host, not the horse. You can look at it being the horse also. Is that clear? And then, is that clear? Okay, ready? Go. Probably the creation of the committees is already well understood. I do not know whether, I think you have done already training in IDD, right? In Pakistan.
We haven't formed a committee. stand as DIF, and then they will visit our house, bring us some food, and then following day they will invite us to their house for meal. Then before our worship, we are going to eat, we are going to worship first. So, and then during while we study, the visit. We are going to talk that we are already your what you're singing. Your family. You are the Christian family. We are the Christian family. That Adventist. You are the Adventist. You are the Adventist.
Non-Adventist or non-Christian?
Not Adventist, not Christian. We are going to our house. Doing this to why are you doing this to why?
Yes, and I think that before even we come here to do the display of the play, you can do the name.
You can explain that one.
This is the methodology we can use in order to teach the then you come because your friend is already sitting there.
Serve as our my busy. I just stay at because you didn't bring, so you life is a balancing balance.
लड़का अच्छा है, काम भी अच्छा करता है, मेहनती है, लेकिन काम तो नहीं, उसको ले लो या फिर ट्राई करेंगे। मैंने अभी को देखा है, उससे बात हो।
Mr. President, how was your small group?
It was quite small.
It was really small.
अच्छा, ये प्लान ऐसे कर रहे हैं। मैंने नहीं कुछ भी करना। नहीं करना है। मैंने सुना ही कुछ नहीं करेंगे। यही जो हमने डिस्कस किया ना स्टेप, इनको हम एज अ प्ले के तौर पे करेंगे, एज अ ड्रामा के तौर पे। आप उसको लीड कर लें। नहीं नहीं, मुझे पता ही नहीं। मैं बता रहा हूँ, उन्होंने पता लीड जैसे। आई विल बी लाइक यू हैव हम दोनों का उन्होंने बनाया आई एल फैमिली। नो लेट मी द फैमिली। नो करेंगे आप दोनों जाएंगे। इधर से लो, एक से लो, उनको तो बनता है, उसको करोगे तो वो सही होगा। So listen, you and he become the intercessor. I think that's a good idea. And then I will be part of this. So I will be on the other side. He will be on the other side. We can okay. So he becomes a part of the CF family, and you become a part of my. We are together. You will be the caring family, and I will just do the devotional part. What do you think? And the steps as we live. You lead of the whole. Just follow the unity. Yeah, you will lead, but you be with him. I will be with him. But are we taking the food in the first developing relationship steps to build? Yeah, that's how we build. That's clear that we go to the gate family and we take a food there. Yeah. But do they know that we're bringing or? What are you doing?
And for you? So you got the VG capable, you got the win wellness, you got the integrated evangelism.
One visitor lost his cell phone. We do not invite mindful that they're welcome to the focus that they have to take care of their.
Sige, siya alam.
If they want to get the stipend.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we will announce that, but not now.
Okay.
We'll announce that.
DVD also.
Parang wala man siguro. I-check lang natin.
My parents.
Okay. Everybody, you got your material? Here. Feedback. Its group a representative or the host. Sorry? Oh, wait. Let's finish the distribution first. Okay? Are you ready now? Everybody got your materials? Aren't you glad? What we will be doing is let's have some feedback of what what you have done in your group. Second, the interaction that has transpired. And then give us something which you probably need to get some feedback from other groups too. In other words, interaction from what you have done. If there are other questions and feedback that need to be considered, we will give you the time. Although our time is Reporter. Okay. Siri, could you come? May I have your attention, please? Everybody, please, this is interaction time. I want everybody to really pay attention. We want you to see what is being learned from each group now. Okay? This is part of the interaction and we need to look into the camera action. Ready? Jerry.
Is this streaming?
Yeah, just streaming.
Hi, Mom. Just kidding. New people. We are not experienced in IEL, but we had a very good leader, Pastor De La Peña, and our group consisted of about 9 people. It was a big group. We enacted as though we were in a home and that we were meeting for the first time. I learned that on the first lesson, you're really not supposed to have a Bible study. You mostly just develop trust. It's like a social group. He emphasized that what we say in the group is confidential. You don't take that outside. We also learned that we are welcome to share our joys. We're welcome to share in had great food. And so the time was spent socially. And then there was a little discussion about one of the lessons. The leader, Pastor De La Peña, he talked about addiction and what addiction is. And we just kind of had an open discussion about it. What do you know? So it wasn't hardcore. It was very warm, inviting.
Feedback from the same group?
Anything? We prayed together in the end. We prayed for each other.
We meet every week?
Yeah.
Once a week?
Yeah. There was. Yeah. He asked whether we want to meet once a week or once a month or in whose home. So there was kind of a group discussion as to how we're going to organize.
Any more interaction from your group, from that group?
During we express our feelings so already because some was very sad, almost crying, but this is real. So it's mean that we are say that what?
Confidential.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. Let's give them a big probably let's do
The setting of our group was, in a home setting, and I was asked to lead. So
okay.
and we chose a topic that was very applicable to it
everybody?
was about forgiveness.
Okay.
And we tried to simulate it as a group discussion
Okay.
also we shared. And probably the most touching experience was from Ma'am Becca. Would you please, Ma'am Becky? She
guest.
Very this program or this scenario, these things that we are promoting now is very effective
Right.
in our community, because
believe.
I myself, I feel like I'm from the outside,
Yeah.
And with my group right now, it's just nice because we open up with just like a question. She
Okay.
said, "What do you do when you were 17?" And then everybody just sort of lightened up and everything. Everybody told their story. And of course, after the most important thing is that he touched a subject that was just on time for somebody
Okay.
that is having a problem.
Okay.
And that problem, so we prayed for that person
Okay.
because he's going through that problem, and I think it's that is very touching.
Okay.
And I pray. Share what do you call it?
Materials.
Materials. They're very important. I know as soon as, because I know regular laymen. I mean, just the rest of my life, I'll try. Of course, he's discouraged, but I said, I'll try again. Until he told me, just come. I said, thank you, Lord, because I know I'm here. And I pray that the Lord will use me mightily, even in my condo. In fact, my condo, I already started a Bible study there. And I feel like this material, I can also help in that condo. Because I can even try the veggie capable at first, or about the nutrition and wellness. And I know that's the best best subject that would draw people, because a lot of the people are concerned about their health. And please, Pastor, use your materials, because I know that these are expensive materials. When I materials, please, Lord, help each and every one to use this material. And Pastor, I thank you for a lot of effort. And I'm telling you, he is small, but he is a terrible man. I admire him. And in fact, I saw him one time in Cuneta. He was a lot younger then. But I guess because all this problem, this heavy burden he has for the work of God, he has aged a little bit. But the Lord will bless you more. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Any feedback? Yeah, okay.
In our group, we have a dilemma.
Come again. Are you listening? Everybody.
In our group, we have a very interesting.
Okay, I
to
thought
tell
you
you
used the
this
word
morning.
dilemma.
Yeah, we have a problem.
Oh, you got okay.
When we try to start out, think of we just started or we have already the second. Brian is an Adventist. We presume that this is our situation in our group,
Sure.
so that you will know also.
Sure.
Brian is an Adventist. Then Ray is a Catholic.
Okay.
And it is his second time in our group. Then Michael is an Adventist. His friend, yan, is a Buddhist.
Okay.
Living in the left side of his house.
Okay.
Right on the right side. Then Junel is an Adventist.
Okay.
His friend is Daniel, a Muslim, at the back of his house.
Okay.
His neighbor. Then Eldia and Arnie is an Adventist.
Okay.
We think of a good flow of our discussion. But the problem, when Daniel sees something, he wants that the topic should not be about forgiveness. Why we believe about Trinity and why we believe about Mary. So discussion if it is not the topic. So we should have also in mind that this might be also a problem that will arise when we have the small group.
Okay.
Then we enumerated some questions about forgiveness, just like what is forgiveness. Then we throw it to our members. It's up to them to discuss about the subject matter. Then forgive.
Okay.
Why is forgiveness important? As a couple or a family, how do you reconcile differences or the damaged relationship? Then we go to what is the feeling of an individual when we talk about forgiveness. Then we talk about what is real forgiveness on biblical view, because the Catholic will go to the press, something like that, then the other denominations also. Then what do you think the effect emotionally, physically, and about a spiritual aspect about an individual if you cannot forgive? Then the last one, what is your feeling if you cannot forgive, especially when it comes to family relationship? That's what we are discussing.
Very good. Okay. Any feedback from your group? Was it? Were you excited to come back?
Yeah. He will.
Equalizing of time, every session.
Principle about the small group is the discussion, of course, learn in our group, and then
Last.
We are fortunate that one of our leader in the group has gone through this training. Well,
okay.
Yeah, I was saying that we are fortunate that one of our pastor in the group has gone through the training. Our good revival meeting be to soon. And that creates a kind of interest in the people. What is IEL? What is IEL? And so once that interest is there, then we bring them together to establish a committee of IEL.
Okay.
And then after we have the committee, we will have the fasting and prayer session with the committee. Then we will present the IEL program to the congregation, explaining them what is IEL. And once they begin to learn what is IEL, they will have more questions and more interest into that. And then what we will do is this, that the families gathered together in the congregation will be given an opportunity to choose the IEF group. They will choose the IEF group, which is a intercessory family group. Opportunity to choose a CF group for them. And once they have a target family, the next procedure that we will follow is after having the do is this, they will go to the CF group, is the intercessory family. Visit them the first day, and then on the first day when they visit them, they will share with them some of the things that they have cooked in their family. For example, I come from the Pakistani family. I'll bring a special dish and share with them. Okay, I want to share with you my food that we cook in our country. And they will be interested in that. And then another family member of our group who is from another country, he will share another dish with them. And then the thing that we will do is this: in the first visit, we will invite them next visit to my family tomorrow evening for the meal. And so when they come to our home, what we will do is this: that we will, before having the meal, we will have a small worship. And in that worship, we will sing some songs and then tell the story. And particularly, our topic will be my love journey. In that, we will tell them the importance of love, why love is so important in this present world, and emphasizing that the whole impact and whole importance that we have in our life is the need of love. That is what we need. And so, and not only we will talk about love, but this relationship develops day by day. When we go to their home, they come to our home, we go to their home, they come to our home, we begin to develop relationship with them. And in this process, we will start our Bible study. A time will come that they give their lives to the Lord, and then they join the family. That's
Very good. Any more reaction? Any more comments from the rest?
Actually, presently we have 48 families, IA families in my church, and this is the reality which we applied in our church.
Okay.
So last month, because of the IEL, we have baptized 50 souls.
Okay, very good.
So, thank you.
Praise the Lord. Any more comments from the group? Okay. If you are listening very carefully, you will find lots of ideas from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. Various settings, but different approaches. Are you with me? What particular idea or ideas have you learned listening to various reports here? Ready? Go. To listen to the report. That should be incorporated somehow in the care group settings.
You must.
Pastor, again, is that what you learned from the group Okay.
Yeah,
but,
and here also.
okay, that's what I'm trying to throw to.
To love the people in spite of the...
Yeah, that's what I know. But is that what you learn from your group setting?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Any more?
Tell
Okay.
each other.
At least is knowledge care group to the clients. In that very, very good.
So,
Another, is that a comment or is that additional?
Additional comments.
A comment to him or what you have learned?
Yeah, I have learned.
Okay.
So we need to evaluate ourselves, need to interact, need to respond from the among our groups to asking like this.
You mean in other words in the group? Yes, sir. Please think about the ideas which you can incorporate in your own setting when you go back to your field.
Yes, while we were discussing and listening to each other's, I and showing.
So what did you do in your group that you gained that idea of you belong?
And sharing my experience, my opinions on forgiveness.
While being there in your group, was it discussed that allow you really to, oh, this is a nice group, I have to stay here?
Yeah. That's why I feel the belongingness in the group.
Is that clear with everybody?
And care.
Is that something to learn?
I want to make a observation. I think group means a time to express our
group that we are lacking, that we need to cooperate. There's some reporting there that we need to incorporate. We have also the idea to modify or to improve our group discussion and our group session.
The leader, the host, how to, what I mean that he very friendly for the people to come in, and also make the one rule. So if not ask the question, like have a rule there, he make the some rule there. So we agree. Because if we invite many, we have to agree in the one rule. Thank you.
Okay.
It's good.
Did you learn something from that? That in a group setting like this, providing rules, in other words, you are setting boundaries in your discussion. What is to be discussed and what is not to be discussed. Okay? And that is very, very important. Okay? Let's get some more comments here and then we'll discuss some general.
I think one very crucial thing in this is the presenter. The presenter really needs to know the material.
Okay.
Instead of just reading it out from it's okay. And then try to accommodate it, but try all the way through, trying to lead out that discussions will be towards the end.
Sure.
Preparation
of
very,
the host
very
is
important.
very.
So I think, Pastor, discussion, you need to have a decision making.
As what?
Decision making.
That's
How
true.
to, because not just according to Pastor Brian, not just only discussing, but we need to organize that in the end part of that discussion, everybody's inside the group without their knowing the information what is our materials are really wants to give it to us.
Okay? And that is very crucial. Sometimes we are drawn with some ideas, and so we lost track of what we're supposed to share. You see, in Wind Wellness, there are 5 areas. The gripping stories, the scientific areas, the inspiration, and then the conclusion, which is you may send home the participants empty, or you may send them home with conviction and commitment to the particular area. And so we have to look into the body, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion of the whole part. And I believe many of you have done that. That's very, very crucial. Any more comments?
Pastor, I would like to share some of the crucial points.
Sure.
Because we are having our care group also. Maybe this is on the side of the young people.
Okay.
We noticed several when it comes to care group.
Mhm.
One is when you notice that some of the members are not joining anymore, there are several issues that we were able to detect.
Okay.
Number one is, for example, there are several friends that we have. We notice some are not attending anymore for one reason, for example, in our care group, because we use English.
Okay.
But not all of us could communicate in English. Then you start to notice that those who are having problems with that, especially idea, but even the educational, like for example, we 1 year in mission, how we treat them, there's still jealousy. We're not really that, because we're close already. So these are factors I think that we need to observe also. It's not personal.
Area, allow me to comment on that area. In that situation, the leader has to be very careful. Meaning already your personality as the home in such a way that when everybody comes and everything is fine. In other words, I'm at peace.
So how do you resolve that? He kind of issue. Curious.
We don't, because we cannot change the language anymore. That's what we're. To or what them in a.
Is not talking, is not or her, but try to. I believe. And it say, okay, shall we everybody to participate? Say, and if this various ways to look into this, but anymore. My email. It's true.
The host will set up the tone. When you're there high and you know, a good host, you know, that comfortable, you know, don't in it from your heart.
That's really. And then they did not start the lesson immediately. Your the lesson because you're rushing. With the guest. No more?
Some people would open up. We might even add burden to that person who's open. So I guess it's
this program is to ask the whole is to allow you to get to know your people. Look into the person. There is a need for that. Some hints of
I guess, Pastor, it
at the course of the IEL or the discussion, we cannot really avoid people asking questions. So in my church, I instructed the family members, if there are some problems, just pray for their problem. Because the IEL committee, every Sunday, into 5 groups. We visit those problem. Our discussion during our visitation, what will be the solutions?
In other words, in your church, if there are 20 care groups, and that's a huge challenge, you as a pastor should time or twice a week or once in 2 weeks.
You know, in my church, we have that prayer band committees.
Okay.
Yeah. Every CF, every care group, we're being introduced to them. We give them problem number 2, trees from this family. So we gather together the solutions, and then we go to the IF, and then this is what we give some help to them. This is what, and it impacts upon the CF.
Very good.
Okay,
so
thank
you get the idea there that that's very crucial. That's very crucial. Yes. Sorry. Sure.
The suggestion in counseling, because counseling is very important. It is not hard. The best counselor is the person who knows how to listen. The listening skill, that is very important, because the person who has this burden, trauma, they want just to catharsis.
In a common meeting and make some orientation. If there is a need of really going to that, then facilitate that.
people. And then sometimes we go out from the church Sunday month. Committee went to an weekend retreat.
Okay.
There, we discuss things for the progress of the work, the IEL, and then we have a prayer band season in that Bible pray. But really, the important thing in that part, the place, the important group in that part is really the prayer band committee.
Very good. Now, each one, do you...
I still have a suggestion.
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
Too far from down. From. Actually, our target is the local church.
Sure.
If fun for pastors, because so
That
long
means
time
money.
So long time the pastors just only from his church, but for down to the pastors, only the church supply the. I mean, is in. Can we make integrated? Because he is really the man to do this successfully. That's always in my mind. Because you know, so long time, many expenses, much expenses.
I understand.
We spend already just to make it happen.
Sure.
But actually, we don't give enough money to the men that really to make it happen.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
As I go around the division personally, I notice that there are some missions, union missions, who have really provided funds to the local care groups. And I know that. The care group has been provided funding from the conference and from the union. The division has provided a huge amount of money for the operation. And we don't provide them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice, provide funding to each care group. So, we would probably leave that to the local missions or the local conference. If you go back, since you are in the union level, you look into this and see how you can actively get involved, go down into the local, and see how you can provide a little funding so that it will steer or inspire the local care group in the local church. I wonder whether Pastor has funding for his small group or his care group. Do you provide a little funding? What is that? Yeah. Okay. Okay. But that is the decision of the local country. For each care group. It's up to you to assist the care group in their monetary needs. So, Pastor Segala, discuss it among your care group committee in the union and see how we can channel some of the funds going down and trickle down to the local field, the local churches. Is that a comment to that one, Pastor? Okay.
Relax. The idea, I think. I do not get the idea, I think. Because, there is some appropriations
I know.
from divisions.
I know.
There is also appropriation from union.
I know.
It's all this money until only from until the mission levels.
I know.
There is no enough yet for churches level.
I know.
That's why what I mean. If there is a formula that divisions make a formula, how many percent all this appreciation, it should go to the church, local churches. I think it will help the local church. It will really should have arrived there, because you set already the formula. Even from division set a formula. If all this kind of appropriation should go down to the churches.
If I have to look into my computer, I think I can find the formula. The formula has this percentage from the division to the union to the local.
Pastor, is that?
Sir.
Yes, Pastor.
We did not know that there is a budget for the IAL, but whether there is a budget or not, we move.
Go.
We receive only this one from conference. And then the second one is that if our stewardship is working, our COP, Combined Offering Plan, using in our IAL.
That's creativity.
If our COP is working. So
Okay.
there is a lot of money if we will let our church work. Because we cannot rely everything to our organization, to our mission. We must do our best in our local churches wherein we can help reaching those unreached.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Pastor,
I share the same concern like what Pastor Sagala is saying. Because first, Pastor Carpena, last time, the small groups that we replicated from Peru, it didn't really work well for our union because the division spent money only for the first cycle. They gave us materials, they gave us everything. But on the second cycle, there was nothing else. So like that, if we do not have like a certain plan. I know there are committees done, and I know division is spending a lot of money, and I know in our union this is heavily subsidized by that budget.
Sure.
For these books. That's
I
why
know.
it's being sold being given to the members very
and
cheap.
it's given to you free here.
Yeah, in here it's free, but in our union it's very small money that we pay for it. But most pastors, sad to say, in our place is if they feel that they don't have money to work for a project, then it
They will
seems
sit
that
down.
they just give up. So
Sure.
I think this is one challenge that we really need to, so that they will be more proactive, like what Pastor Necesario is saying, using the members combined one
excited.
offering plan.
That's
yes, I think that's
Okay.
more or less.
Last.
This will be the last. Iskatos.
Okay.
Okay. If there are some administrators, what we want there, Pastor, is a transparency. They have to tell the meeting. You have to tell our
That is for your mission, whether you will give in a budget or not.
Okay, so we'll ask Pastor De La Peña to pray for our food.
Let us all rise. Gracious Lord in heaven, we are so happy indeed, O Lord, for the gift of life and for this